So today I will start my class. Let's see what he has written. No, on that day, most important thing is that you be present there physically and bring a document to show that you are who you are. You don't need to bring any other such documents. So I'll start presenting. Okay, so today I intend to take up two topics. One is the phylum Mollusca classification and characters, and the second thing which I wish to take up, that is origin of metazoa. I hope everybody is able to see me. Are you able to see me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, what is phylum Mollusca, first of all? Let us have a look at what phylum Mollusca is. Let's take it over here. Are you able to see the white screen?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, okay, great. So, phylum Mollusca. Basically, they belong to the order of snails. They can be snails. Some people call them slugs. Some people, even your octopus, squids, bivalves. Bivalves. So basically, if you have a look at them, bivalves are like this. On the, you can see them on the seashore. You can see these. More or less, they look like this. You find certain rings occurring like this. These shells which you see, for example, lamellidans, mollusks, they are bivalves. They are also mollusks. One famous example is your lamellidans, unio. Then you have your gastropods. Example, Pila. They are these very important mollusks which are present. So, one characteristic which is present, if I ask you name one characteristic which is present in all of them, what will you say? What is the characteristic which is present? Their body is
Soft.
soft. Just by saying exactly, Pritodip has given the right word. So they are very soft bodied organisms. Soft visceral mass. Visceral means or internal organs. They are visceral. So their organs are present as a visceral mass inside their soft body. They may another very important characteristic which they have. If you see, their outer covering is got a shell. Outer covering has got a shell, but this shell is not present in all of them. This external shell is not present in all of them. For example, in octopus, you don't find no shell. You find a shell, but it is inside, internal shell. You don't find that external shell. They have a body, and that body is covered by a type of cloak. Cloak is like a sweater on top. They have got a covering, a cloak, and that is known as mantle. That is how they look like. It is known as mantle. Basically, this mantle, you have water. If they see, the water comes inside, or from the air you find the air coming inside this mantle. There is a covering called mantle. Mantle or cloak. An overcoat on top. So they have got a mantle. And all of them have got one characteristic known as strong muscular foot. Normally they are ventral. So this point, strong muscular foot, is present in all of them. Below you will always find a strong muscular foot present. You may have the snails looking like this. They have got a head, a body, or whatever they have got. You'll find a strong muscular foot always present. It is always present. So several groups you can find. Several groups. The first group which you can find are very common ones are gastropods. You will find that the shells are somewhat coiled and the animal lives inside. They have got coiled shells. Then one group, they are known as the monoplacophorans. They have got a plate-like covering shell. A single plaque. Then, a single shell on top. It's not twisted. Then you have the polyplacophorans. You have these shells, many plates of shells, like in chiton. They cover the body. Another group is present. They are the group of octopus or sepia. Their shell is internal. They have got a 6 legs, 8 legs. Their shell is internal, inside under the skin. This is another group of mollusk. Then you have the famous bivalves. Very important one is the Pinctada fucata or pearl forming oysters. So basically these are the most important snail groups which you can see. So with this, let us go to our notes. Let us go to the notes. So general body, if you look at the general body plan, you have the shell, you have a stomach, then there is an organ in the mouth known as radula, a teeth-like structure, radula. They scrape algae or mosses which are found. Then the digestive gland takes the stomach, intestine, then the anus comes, then there are gills are present. There is a mantle cavity, and then inside the mantle cavity gills are present. Air sacs are present in terrestrial forms, and in all of them the most important characteristic is the foot. So character: bilaterally symmetrical body, body soft, unsegmented, without a body cavity. There is a presence of a protective external dorsal shell. A visceral mass remains enclosed by a thick muscular fold of the body called mantle. So a mantle, it covers the internal mass and organs and muscles. That is the visceral mass. And large ventral muscular foot is present. The first group are the aplacophorans. So this is example Chaetoderma. This is how an aplacophoran looks like. Aplacophorans. Foot absent or reduced to a ventral ridge. Ventral ridge is present. Foot is almost absent. Head poorly marked and without eyes or sensory tentacles. Worm-like mollusca, body covered by cuticle. There is absence of shells. Soft body, therefore more or less they are mollusks. Then you have the famous one, chiton or the polyflacophorans, body covered by 8 shell plates, and a broad muscular creeping foot is present in the ventral surface. Underneath there is a creeping foot present. Radula and bears a lot of teeth. So radula is a teeth-like structure. They scrape. Later on I will show you how a radula looks like. Then the monoplacophorans like Neopilina, single shells. Then this is Pila, gastropodons, visceral mass. It is twisted 180 degree, torsion. A torsion takes place. It gets twisted. Of course, muscular foot is present. Then the bivalves. You have seen all of these on seashores. You can find these bivalves. Radula is absent here. Scaphopods like Dentalium. Tube. That tube which is open at both ends. This is a picture of a scaphopod. Then cephalopod, your octopus. So these are the characteristics of octopus. You know how an octopus looks like. With this I finish mollusk. Now I start a new topic, origin of metazoa. So let us start origin of metazoa. I have sent the note today. Origin of metazoa. Just hold on, I'm in Calcutta, I'm using an older computer laptop. This takes some time, but it works fine. I'm taking the red color now here. So let's start with origin of metazoa. So what are metazoans? Metazoans are multicellular animals. Metazoans are multicellular animals. The animal kingdom can be divided into protozoa and metazoa. Protozoans are unicellular and metazoans are multicellular. They can be either parazoa or enterozoa. So parazoa means they are multicellular, but they don't have a tissue like a tissue and organ system is not present, like liver tissue, lung tissue. You don't have these system present. And enterozoa, they have tissues and organ systems present. Most of the organisms they have it like this. Then enterozoa can be divided into radiolarians, which have got radial symmetry, that can, whenever you cut it into half, you can divide that like a ball, you can divide it from wherever angle, you can get two equal halves. So if you cut it from here, you still have a two equal halves. If you cut it from here, you will still have two equal halves. Cut it from here, you will also have two equal halves. So they have, this is known as radial symmetry. They can be radiolarians or they can be bilaterians with bilateral symmetry. For example, this platyhelminthes worm, which I had drawn, something like this. If you divide it into two, you get two equal halves. This is bilateral symmetry. Example of radiolarians are the cnidarians and ctenophora. And bilateria, they can be the platyhelminthes, ascihelminthes, mollusks, cannelid, echinoderms, us chordates. We are all bilaterally symmetrical. You can, if you see my head, you can divide from the center. You can get two equal halves on both sides. So they are bilaterally symmetrical, bilaterans. Now they can also be divided into protostomia or deuterostomia. Protostomia is first mouth, proposed by Carl Groben. What it says, that this is the zygote after it forms a blastula. Zygote divides and it forms a blastula. It forms this blastula and there is an invagination. So the first hole which is formed over here, this becomes the mouth. So first mouth is formed. So this little hole is the dorsal layer. This is a blastopore. The blastopore forms the mouth. First mouth. Proto means first mouth. Example: nematodes, annelids, arthropods, still mollusks. Then you have the deuterostomia, which means second mouth. So here the first this invagination, when it takes place during development from blastula to this blastopore, invagination takes place. The anus is formed first. The mouth later is found over here. The first is anus which is formed. Then that is deuterostomia. So our echinoderms and chordates, we are all deuterostomes. These are the basics. So there are the theories on the origin of metazoa. The first is the Blastia and the Gastria theory. It was proposed by Ernst Haeckel in 1874. What was it? It said that single protozoan cell, they aggregated, that is they came together, and they formed little spherical, like a ball sphere, flagellate colonies. They had flagella on their cells. I'll show you a diagram. I have drawn it myself. And this is almost like this. All these cells over here together, they accumulated and formed something like a blastula. That was called like a blastula. They named it Blastia. This blastula also invaginated like a gastrula into something known as gastria. Gastria. So this was Ernst Haeckel proposal, Blastia and Gastria theory. So if you look at the picture, so ancestral flagellate, this was one cell. This is the first cell here, this is the second cell over here. So many of them aggregated and they formed this choanocyte cloflagellated, and then this structure was formed, this circular structure was formed here like this. This is the Blastia. Invagination takes place somewhere here. It goes inside and it forms the gastria. Then there was another theory from Mechnikov known as the planula theory. So it happened that the same thing happened. This colonial choanoflagellate formed. Then this Blastia formed. And then cells started to ingress inside. Cells from outside, they started to come inside, divide, and they started to come inside. So these are the ingression of cells which are ingressing. They ingress and they fill it up like this. And cells are divided into special germ cells, and others are somatic cells. Flagellated somatic cells. So somatic cells, others are, and these are germ cells here. So this is the planula theory. This is a planula larva, planuloid ancestor which is formed. This is another theory. The next is theory which we come is the colonial or flagellate theory. Many cells, they came like a volvox and they formed this. Many cells like in volvox, they come together and they form a colony, and this colony became a single organism. So this is the colonial or flagellate theory. Then you have the syncytial ciliate theory. So syncytium is that the nucleus of a cell divides, but there is no cellularization. So the nucleus are not separated by cell wall and cell membrane. That is a syncytium. So this is a syncytial ciliated protist. These are all the nucleus inside the protist. These are the nucleus. So suddenly, this like a blastopore, it's formed, and the nucleus divides, and then these form. Nuclei divide many times and they are separated. And this is known, this is a syncytial theory. So there are many polyphyletic origins. So nowadays in taxonomy, we use the sequence of ribosomal DNA of organism. They compare the similarity and difference of this DNA sequence after sequencing. And from this we can know whether the organism, they are close or whether they are distantly related, like we seen in taxonomy, if they are close or whether they are distantly related. So Greenberg, he did this study, and he said polyphyletic means different groups, different phyla in the animal kingdom, their origin were different. They did not come from the same ancestor, they came from different ancestors. For example, sponges and cnidarians, according to Greenberg, they came from colonial flagellates, while from these ciliates, ctenophores, acyltubularians like your platyhelminthes and other metazoans, they formed. This is according to Greenberg's theory. Marshall's theory went like this: from Protista, all the other phylum were formed, right from Porifera to Echinodermata. Valentine gave this theory: Diploblastica, Acylometa, Protocylometa. From there, different phylum came: Polypmeria, Deuterostomia, Tentaculata, Amera, Mollusca. So these are polyphyletic theories. Many phylum came from one here. Hansen gave this theory: from colonial amoeboids, sponges and cnidarians were formed. From ciliates, acyl, turbularians and other metazoans were formed. And monophyletic theory was also given by an individual known as Mueller. And he did a molecular analysis also with ribosomal DNA, and he found in his study there was a single common ancestor known as metazoa. From that, all other metazoans came. So with this, I finish today's topic, today's class. So I'm stopping my sharing. Do you people have got any questions? क्वेश्चन है कोनो? राहुल, कोई क्वेश्चन है? ओ राहुल का तो ये माइक्रोफोन इज नॉट वर्किंग. ओके ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. হ্যাঁ বলো, তোমার আওয়াজ বড্ড আসতে যাচ্ছে, তুমি একটু টাইপ করে লেখো. Do you people have got any questions? Then please type or please tell me. কোয়েশ্চেন আছে শ্রেয়াস, প্রীতদীপ?
না স্যার।
ঠিক আছে, আমি নোটগুলো তো পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছি হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে, আর বা যারা পাওনি তাদেরকে আমি আস্তে আস্তে সব নোটস পাঠিয়ে দেবো, ওটা চিন্তা করো না সবাইকে. Nothing to worry. Please explain the origin, first part again. Okay, the first part. Let us go to the first part. What was the first part? Okay, let me explain the first part once more. So, metazoan means they are multicellular organisms. So they have many cells. So first theory was given by Haeckel, that is the Blastia theory, Blastia gastria theory. So what happens during the embryogeny, you have a sperm egg fusing, it forms a zygote. This is a zygote which is formed. This zygote keeps on dividing and forms a ball of cells, a hollow ball of cells known as blastula. Now, there is a force which takes place known as invagination. As a result, it becomes something like this. Outer side is ectoderm, inner side is endoderm. Outer side formed is ectoderm, and the inner cells are so in protostomia this becomes the anus, this region, and in deuterostomia this protostomia it becomes the mouth, and in deuterostomia it becomes the anus. Okay. Now he proposed that you had single flagellated cells, protozoan, single flagellate. So many of them they aggregated like this. Like a blastula, similar to a blastula. They had all the flagellated cells. Later, this was known as Blastia. Then invagination takes place. All body covered by this flagella became small like cilia. So this is known as the gastria instead of gastrula. Gastia. So this is the first part. This is what I was explaining. Am I clear, Pritadeep?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, any other questions? If you don't have any questions, then we meet again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We study another 2 topics. ठीक আছে, bye bye then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Your examination will be online according to government orders.
টাইম কতক্ষণ থাকবে?
যা এখনো it's not decided. Don't worry, relax. Study and relax. I'll give you, make the notes very short. Study that. I think that should be good enough. Like this origin of metazoa, I made a huge topic very small. Read that much. I think that should be good enough. I will even reduce the classification chapter. Okay then, bye bye.
और सर मंडे को कितने बजे जाना है?
मंडे को वो बोल देगा पंकज सर बोल देगा उसका ये जाने का रीज़न यही है कि तुम लोग को तो मालूम ही है संगीता मैडम को कोई गाली दिया था तुम लोग के बैच से, बहुत ही गंदा गाली दिया था, समझे ना? मतलब वो हम बोल भी नहीं सकते इतना गाएगा, मतलब बोल सकते थे, अभी इस उम्र में टीचर होके नहीं बोल सकते। तुम लोग की उम्र में मैं बोल सकता था, बनारस में बहुत गाली देता था, लेकिन कभी कोई टीचर को ऐसे गाली नहीं दिया था। दोस्तों के बीच में गाली गलौज चलता रहता है, लेकिन ये जो बोला एक टीचर को बहुत ही गंदा गाली दिया था, मतलब इतना गंदे, मतलब वेरी बैड। तो इसके लिए प्रिंसिपल से कंप्लेन हुआ है, प्रिंसिपल बोला कि फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन करना है सबका। क्योंकि तुम लोग नहीं किए हो, इतना तो मालूम है, जो जेन्युइन स्टूडेंट्स जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं ये लोग नहीं किए ये प्रॉब्लम actually from outsider or students who are not very serious. So who are the serious students जो उस दिन आएंगे, जो स्टूडेंट्स आएंगे उस दिन, वो लोग को ही मतलब we are going to allow them in the class. नहीं तो ऐसे क्लास में उल्टा सीधा डिस्टरबेंस, पूरा क्लास बदनाम हो जाता है ना. सो इसीलिए दिस फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अच्छा, ये अक्षर है. अच्छा, ये अल्शिफा है, ये श्रेयस है, ये पोलोमी है. ये पोलोमी तो नहीं है, ये प्रीतोदीप है. हाँ, तो जस्ट द नेम्स गो लाइक दिस. अच्छा, ये है. ठीक है. सो ये लोग जब एंट्री लेंगे, दे विल बी अलाउड. अदर्स विल नॉट बी गिवन इनविटेशन टू अटेंड क्लासेस. दोज हु आर एबल टू कम, ओनली देम. ठीक है. सो ओके देन, मिलते हैं कल 4 o'clock. ओके.
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 ओके सर.
ओके.
बाय सो.
बाय 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 बाय.